Guys, I finally got one. I've been wanting one forever. I picked up a 2023 Widebody JAILBREAK Hellcat, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, it has all the options. It has a bunch of different names. It says jailbreak on the dash. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I just got back from picking it up in West Palm Beach. The guys at Arrigo Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram gave me a smoking deal on it, and we are gonna put this thing to the test. I've kind of gotten on it a few times. The tires just do not hook up, the Pirellis. I've already got some Nitto tires on order for it because I expect to, you know, make some power with this thing and really put it to the test. So follow along on this build. My goal is to see what it takes to get this into the fours. Without further ado, let's get to testing. All right, here we go. I'm about to make my first pull here. I'm gonna put this phone down. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Oof. All right, I'm gonna try, I turned off traction control all the way by holding the button, and then I'm gonna try to start in third instead of second. You know, I don't know this car very well, so I think you know, these are the things that you do when you learn. I think second gear was too steep, so here we go. That's horrible, man. That's horrible. All right, same thing. No traction off. I'm gonna try to see if I can like haze the tires a little bit. I'm gonna go back to starting in second apparently because that was horrible. Here we go.
130.
Dang. This car is slow. Last hit right here. And then I'm done.
60.
The things that we will do for performance. It is so, I mean, you can't even touch it. It's kind of hot and muggy tonight. DA's horrible and everything, but you know, this is real life stuff we're doing here. I just got off the messenger with my buddy Mike. He gave me some ideas on the modes on this. So what I'm gonna do is, he told me a trick here. He said you can go to, you can set your custom mode. And then he said you can hit this button 2 times to go to that mode. And he is not lying. You can see the traction light off over here, and then you can see it go straight to custom. And then it shows the power, the transmission is on track, the paddle shifter's on, the traction is on track. But suspension is street because I want it to be as soft as possible, and the steering is whatever, who cares? So my theory here is that I want the transmission to shift as aggressively as possible. I want the power to be as aggressive as possible. And then on the traction selection, there's a street, sport, and track. I don't want, when I'm doing these Dragy pulls, especially when the vehicle is stock, I always try to do all the nannies off, and I try to have nothing interrupting the pass because I don't want any interference. Now, Michael Naughton he's a fellow 9-second Hellcat owner. I've brainstormed with him a little bit over the last couple weeks, and he said that if it doesn't hook, I may need to play with the suspension settings, but I'm going straight to just street. So it's the next day. Last night we went 8.77, 60 to 130. Density altitude was about 1,800 feet. I think it was high 70s, low 80s for temp. I had made a post online, and a bunch of Hellcat guys hit me up and said, hey, you know, do this, do that, whatever. Car should be faster. I don't know if I agree. I guess we'll see. But one person, a guy by the name of Brent, told me that the transmission is better in sport mode because in track mode it has a delay on the shifts. And I did notice that. I don't know if you could hear it, but it like pops on the shifts. I'm not so sure that that's a good thing. I mean, it's almost like in my other cars, like when it hits the rev limiter, that's about what it feels like. So I'm gonna cut to the chase here. It's extremely hot. You know, it's in the 90s or maybe the mid to high 80s. I don't know. The car lies when I first get into it. My intake temps are already up to 115, and I haven't even gotten out of this neighborhood. But I'm gonna give a few hits in Mexico. I'm gonna give it a few hits and see. Maybe even though the weather's gonna be worse, let's see if these drive modes changed anything. All right, the temp is starting at 129, it looks like. So I'm not sure how well this is gonna do, but we're gonna try. So I legitimately think that this thing is just a little bit of traction away from going to mid-8. So I'm gonna try to see what we can do again right here. Let's see what we can do here.
Half mile. 60. $130.
894. This thing's pretty consistent. It's an 890 car. I mean, when it hooks and goes in this heat, I guess I thought it would be a little quicker, but yeah, I mean, I think it's just settling in for it being an 890 car. Well, folks, third time was not a charm for me. My best pass in this journey with this stock vehicle was my very first pass I ever made. I think it's because of the DA. So to conclude this video, we went from 877 to like 9.1s, 9.2s on sloppy passes. This car's a low 9, high 8 second car right now as it sits in my hands. You know, I'm doing this platform some injustice by buying it and testing it when it's already nasty out. You know, I posted some really impressive times with my other cars, but you know, that's miracle error stuff, you know, and I'll be the first to admit it. So I enjoy doing this stuff. I wish I could put more time into it and go into even more details, but as the car sits right now, I've been making passes with a half a tank of fuel. I've been trying the basics, right? Lower the tire pressure, try to get the intake temps as cool as possible. Today, I had some major traction problems that I haven't really had, and I attribute that to possibly not sitting in traffic before I started and not getting heat soaked. So the majority of my passes today were starting in the low 120s on the intake temps, and it was hitting really hard. Yesterday, I was in the 130s and stuff, so I'm gonna wrap this up. So it's a full weight Hellcat, no tricks. Tricks are coming. Right now we're not realizing gains from anything. This is, in my opinion, this is like worst case scenario stuff for this car. I think it's a mid 8 second 60 to 130 car. I'm not doing digs because I don't want to embarrass the platform. I mean, the car doesn't even hook from 50 right now on these Pirellis. So in the plans are take weight out tastefully. This is going to be my daily driver for a while, and put a tire on it. So what I'm going to do is I have some carbon ceramic brake materials on order. I'm going to try to save 30-40 pounds on the front brakes. I saw massive gains in performance on my GT500 from doing that. I can feel that the IRS out back is real floppy, so I'll either use a BMR lockout kit or I'll make my own. I am gonna nobody rides in the back seat. I've got all kinds of cars to take the family around in. I'm gonna do a rear seat delete in probably ABS plastic, and then I'm gonna take all that shit out of the trunk. I'm not into the boom boom stuff. So, it is what it is. I'm doing this to go fast, but I want to do it tastefully. So that's the plans. Drop some weight, get a tire on there that hooks, either a Nitto drag radial or maybe that Turo that I did the previous test video on my C8 Corvette. And let's see if we can get this thing into the 7s. A lot of times when you have a lot of potential, but you're not realizing the potential, showing it and seeing the results, when you make the small changes, it results to large increases in performance or gains in performance. I think the primary issue I'm having right now, well, first of all, is heat, but second is the car's wanting to kind of like skip shift. So when I take off, it's not tripping the 60 mile an hour while it's in second gear. So the 60 to 70 on the increments on the 60 to 130 chart are really slow. They're 0.8 and 0.9. The best pass that I have thus far is a 877, and the 60 to 70 was better. It was the best one yet, and the DA was lower. It was like 17 or 1800 feet. So I see what's needed. I want to thank a few of the Hellcat guys that have reached out to me. I'm learning this car. Thank you for watching. Like my stuff, subscribe to it, share it, and in the comment section, if you guys have any ideas or whatever, I love the feedback. For those of you that are emailing me and messaging me, I got a lot of people thanking me for doing this, just because, this isn't some high cost, crazy fancy thing. This is like winging it. I'll turn the camera on. I don't even have a mount for my phone in this car. I'm just showing you guys the process along the way with all these cars. I hope you enjoy it. If you learn something cool, but the main reason I'm doing this is to have a journal for my stuff, because in the past, I've had tons of cars and done tons of things, and I never have anything to fall back to. So again, like, subscribe, and share, and maybe the next video we'll get this pig into the 7s.